Hey gang, Josh here. Quick question. What do you know about June 1st, 1974? This is by far one of the weirdest and most unique live albums I've ever come across. Officially, it's attributed to eccentric singer-songwriter Kevin Ayers, formerly of the band Soft Machine. It was Kevin's idea to get together some fellow musicians for a concert he was putting on at the Rainbow Room in London in, you guessed it, 1974. He first invited his friend Nico, former singer for the Velvet Underground and by this time an established solo artist. And she brought along a classic rock instrument, the harmonium.
I believe this is a small piano.
It's not a piano. I got a piano at home.
At this concert, she covered a song by her friend Jim's band, The Doors. I'll bet sounding less like a psychedelic rock song and more like a flirty funeral dirge.
Ride the highway west, baby.
Not wanting it to be just a two-person show, Nico brought along Cale, her former Velvet Underground bandmate and current producer. He was in London at the time working on an album of his own. On this date, he does a cover of Elvis's Heartbreak Hotel, which I think can best be described as unrelenting, if not also unrecognizable and upsetting.
For broken-hearted lovers to cry there in the gloom.
It really ends up sounding a lot less like a tribute to the King and more like an unreleased Coil B-side. Cale in return brought along his friend Brian Eno, co-founder of the band Roxy Music and by this point a solo artist with just one album of glam-influenced art rock to his name. His contributions to the concert include his own songs Driving Me Backwards and a wholly nasal, completely ear-piercing rendition of Babies on Fire, a terrifyingly surreal song which includes the lyrics, "If you'll be my flotsam, I could be half the man I used to."
You'll be my flotsam. I could be half the man I used to. They said you were hot stuff, and that's what baby's been reduced to.
Not content with having all that going on, Ayers also invited friend and percussionist Robert Wyatt. Wyatt had fallen out of a friend's fourth-floor window exactly 1 year to the date of this concert, which resulted in him being partially paralyzed and now unable to use his feet. 1 year to the day, people. His return to the stage this night, and to music in general, was considered something of a true triumph of will. Rounding out the cast that night was John Bundrick, a future Who and Pete Townsend collaborator, as well as Mike Oldfield, whose song Tubular Bells was all but inescapable in 1974, having been used as the theme for The Exorcist the previous year. The last point about this record, the cover photo. There's Eno in a dashing red beret, Nico looking as pale and gaunt as ever, and a shared look between Cale and Ayers. The reason for said look? Cale had found Ayers in bed with his wife the night before the concert. Cool. Now that's rock and roll. All these talented weirdos, all these unique songs, and a return to music from Robert Wyatt, you gotta get to know this album, gang.